Hello, fabulous people. Today we're diving into what Maslow's hierarchy of needs is and what that means for you in leadership and what it means for you as a business owner. So, anyone, visionaries and leaders, listen up. Let me explain to you some of the basics of why Maslow's hierarchy of needs matters. My name is Beate Chalette. I am a business strategist and I help visionaries and leaders to make their impact through designing tools, strategies, and blueprints that will help you to really increase and multiply your impact. So let's talk about Maslow's hierarchy. And I actually prepared this for you. So I want you to kind of take a look at this. So at the bottom of the Maslow's hierarchy stands the biological and physiology of the basic needs. That is food, and that is shelter, that's access to clean water. So some of these things in the Western civilization are so normal to us that we don't even ever think about this. But when you are in an organization and you have a low level um, staff on the line at minimum wage, we know that with the cost of living increase, that it has become extremely expensive to pay rents. There's shortages of housing available everywhere. So rents are sky high and people cannot pay with their fee that they make for performing their jobs. They cannot make their rent and put a head over their head and food on the table. And when you have people like this working for you, you cannot expect that when the basis of the hierarchy of Maslow is not met, that they'll be calm, confident, and able to continue working for you and give you everything they have because they are, as I said, at the very bottom of this, worried about the bare essentials. The second part on the Maslow's hierarchy of needs is safety. And so safety is where we are looking into, are we physically safe? Are we emotionally safe? And are we mentally safe? This is particularly important for you to review right now, especially in the aftermath of the pandemic. And as we are coming out of all these changes that we're seeing in the workplace, it is no longer just okay to have a physically safe place. And physically safe places, especially in the United States with the mass shootings that are taking place in the workplaces, you are really going to have to communicate this to your team members and make sure that they understand that you know that you have an emphasis on safe spaces so that they're physically safe, that where they work, they're taken care of, that they're emotionally safe, and that they're mentally safe, because we are seeing a significant shift in the aftermath of COVID, of mental health breakdowns because of the prolonged pressure that people have been under, and the consistent change they've been in with just how we communicate, interact, and how we relate to other people. This next step, in the third step in the Maslow's hierarchies of needs, is love and belonging. And this is where it's about being loved, being heard, seen, where cherishing intimacy, friends, family, or network, and connections with other people. I see this especially on YouTube all the time. I can always point out when some of these comments are coming in that are just like outrageously angry and, victimizing and blaming, as if someone did something to someone. When somebody makes a comment like that, or when somebody shows up like that in your office, then a lot of times they do not have that sense of love and belonging. Because they don't have that, they have to leash out and find something or someone that is wrong, that has caused it, because very few people have the awareness to actually recognize on why they are where they are. It's always easier to point the finger at someone else and say it's their fault that they did that to me, and I have nothing to do with that. But again, we're looking at this from the perspective of a leader and a visionary, and we say, well, love and belonging really is something that, of course, you cannot give to your employees love per se, but it is critical if you want people to have that sense of belonging. Again, as we're bringing people back in a hybrid model, this is kind of critical for you to get that a sense of belonging is something that people are aiming for, that they're looking for, and that they are that they want to have. So next on the hierarchy are esteem, what you need to feel good about. And this is where people are being ambitious, where they people are taking their confidence from doing well, from getting the recognition of stuff that they've done really well. So where this is important for you in your organization, again, is to point out that you want to be more rewarding with what people are doing right than what they're doing wrong. Encourage good behavior versus punishing bad behavior, because when you encourage good behavior, it just sets a whole different energy into motion. And people, when you say something good about them, and in my work, when we go into organizations and we help create these sense of belongings with teams, and we do a team exercise where we share all the good things about each other, you can just see how the faces light up when they hear what positive things they have to say, and how it just changes the dynamic in a team instantly. If that's something that you would like to know more about, just reach out to me and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about that. Finally, in the last and final piece of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is the self-actualization, and this is where you live up to your potential. So here, this is interesting to me because I feel that a lot of people actually say they would love to live up to their potential, but what's happening more often than not is that they are finding excuses not to do that. And here, as a leader, when you really want to develop high potentials and you want to give this self-actualization to your team members, you got to be prepared to recognize that they are only able to get from here to there with what they know. So if you want them to go from this point to another point, you want to give them more information and more education or training, whatever term you prefer, so that they are seeing that what they are trying to do or where they want to go, that is a vision that can form in their head. We know in mindset you can't achieve something unless you're very clear about how to get there. So these are the 5 steps of the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Please do like this video, and if you feel so inclined, please subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Would love to hear your comments about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below. Always happy to answer them. And this is Beate Gillette, the Growth Architect, and I thank you for watching, and goodbye.